do for you, no doubt about it. Boosie, I'm a Midwest king, looking for myself a queen. Ready to chase a dream with a dope self-esteem. You find it in all I know, and that's for real. You get to shaking that ass on the floor, and I see what's real. No disrespect, I just tell it like it is. Do you ever want some kids? What your ultimate goals? Maybe I can help with those. The Mo was broke when he made you a blessing. You looking like a whole buffet, and I need some seconds. You say you had promiscuous ways, that was back in the day. I'll be alive, I say I did it, that shit was a phase. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you if you quit playing. Won't you take the chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Lady, you so far ahead of these others, just like a ship on the horizon. Picking up on your vibe, signal stronger than Verizon. All the thoughts that I've been contemplating, ain't no time for faking or debating. You the one, ain't no mistaking. Look, I see your swag different. Always carry yourself like you ready, you know the mission. I had to know you, I'm tempted. I can see why you timid. Hold up now, baby, listen. Just take that dance with me, I can show you that there's a difference. I'm locked in. I throw away my playaways because you pop in. A shooter always shoot a shot. With you by my side, I guarantee we'll reach the top. I put that on God and then I'll give you all that I got. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you if you quit playing. Won't you take a chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me.
Welcome to the Behind Them Sticks podcast, brought to you by TSWS Gaming.
Come and talk to me. Lennard Ray. Come on. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you if you quit playing. Won't you take the
Quick question, how long does it normally go on for?
I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Look, see we vibing and you know it's true. Baby, what it do? Do for me and I'ma do for you. No doubt about it. Boosie, I'm a Midwest king, looking for myself a queen. Ready to chase a dream with a dope.
Hey, yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Behind Them Sticks with your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming here with you today. And I have 2 episodes going down today. 2 of those things. It's going to be a busy day for your boy. And then I also got to deal with my daughter. And then hopefully my wife comes home from work in a good mood. So I don't have to, give her too long of a back massage. I got to help her out, though. I got to make sure that she's feeling good and ready for the next day and whatnot. I'm off today of work from the game store and whatnot. So I am happy to be here with you guys on the channel. But no further ado, let's get on to introducing my guest for today and this evening for her. And that would be Danielle Games. Or do you go as the plural like it's spelled Danielle's Games?
It's as well as it doesn't really mind. Normally people just call me Danny. So Danny, Danielle.
Fair enough.
Whatever one either way is fine.
So please announce yourself. Let everybody know where they can find you, where where you like to game. If you're comfortable letting people know gamer tags or whatnot, I don't care whether you are or not, up to you. But let everybody know what platforms that they can check you out on, like follow you and stuff like that.
Genuinely, I'm really bad with this sort of thing. I only really post on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram because I'm not techie enough to do Twitch, YouTube, or honestly, I'm awful. So yeah, literally just TikTok, mainly TikTok and Instagram and Twitter.
How in the heck can anybody take you serious saying that
What?
I'm not that techie? And you look behind her, and it's just like anything you can imagine to play video game wise. I mean, I'm seeing a Dreamcast. I see boxes of Super Nintendos. You showed me the Atari that you have earlier. I know you have 4 GameCubes just sitting out, and then I asked you if you had any more, and you said actually I have 6. So like, what's really going on? Are you like how are you gonna sit there and lie to me and say that I don't know anything about tech? Like you gotta know something. But I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to my audience. She did ask me. She's like, this Discord thing. How's that work?
You were like, yeah, do it on Discord, and I was like, yeah.
Sweat commencing.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, and I was typing really fast. And I was going, can you let me out to do it, please?
Oh, man. It was fun, though. I'm really happy to have you here, and I'm happy to see some people pull up in the chat. We have, I think it's Democles or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's something else. I haven't seen that before. But we also have Matt Likes Games, Tortoise Hawaii Gaming, and we have some other people viewing as well. Just a few people in the chat so far. So what's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good Thursday. Game on. But let's go on ahead and get into this. So first of all, I asked Danny what I ask everybody else when they come on Behind Them Sticks. By the way, let people know what part of the world you're in, first of all.
I am from England, so it's 9:00 right now.
Yeah,
You're in the day, I'm in the night.
Yep, good evening to her. Good afternoon to me. But I always ask everybody, where the heck did you get your freaking, like, what was the first freaking console that you ever, had access to regularly? And when you look at her background, you're like,
Let me move.
It can be anything. But if you look and see a gray little rectangle, it's not even little. Where am I looking right now? But anyways, so she has first played on a Sony PlayStation. The console was out before she was even born. But if you look around at her room, you see a lot of things that are around the PlayStation time period or even older.
Yeah, a lot of it in here is older than me.
I got to know, before we get into the history too much, I need to know what the heck got you into going backwards in gaming.
Backwards? Because I think when I was born, so obviously, I think I was probably about 5 or 6. My brother's 2 years older than me, so he is also a gamer. We used to play together all the time as kids. As we were growing up, we were reliving it. So we didn't get the newest console that come out. We didn't grow up with a lot of money. So back then, when the new consoles come out, the previous ones were cheaper. So we were getting the cheaper ones. And as time went on, we just never got the newest ones. So I got to live through it after, years after they came out. But the PS1 was the first one that I owned. That was mine, myself. I think I got that when I was about maybe 7 or 8. So it was cheap as chips back then. It was 50p for a game. So that's what initially started it. And I've always been quite a hoarder anyway.
I mean, us gamers are mostly hoarders. We don't want to say anything, but
it's a lifestyle.
We make hoarding look good.
It is, though. It is a lifestyle. But back then, when it was so cheap, obviously I didn't really know the true value, what was to come. so I was a little bit neglectful. I always kicked myself so bad because I had so many PS1 games, and I would open them, go, "Ugh, who needs the case? Frisbee the
Oh
case away."
no.
Yeah, and I kept all of the discs in this cool little, it was a burger in this slip case, thinking I was really cool, like going like that with the PS1 games, and I would just Frisbee the manual, the case away. So
You're
yeah,
just like, hey
that's what
mate, pass
started
me
it
the
all.
lettuce.
Yeah. Oh
But that's
gosh,
fantastic. So at that point in time, you're really enjoying the the original PlayStation.
loved it. Still
Did
do.
you move forward to the PS2 or did you move backwards at that time?
Not when it first came out, no. Again, it was, I can't remember how old we were. We must have been like
This is
in
going to be a
secondary.
great mystery for me because I'm going to be sitting here asking you each time we talk about a console, is
Yeah,
this the
you got
point where
this.
you went backwards?
Well, I started religiously collecting probably about 6 years ago. And that's when I first bought a Dreamcast, a Sega Saturn, because I never had any of that throughout my entire childhood. So I got to live for that as an adult for the first time, unfortunately, when they're all mega expensive. But I got to experience them for the first time as an adult. But after the PS1, I know we got an SNES. That
So
was
at that
amazing.
point, you went backwards.
Yeah, that was so good. And we spent, so answer, we spent a lot of time at our granddad's, and anyone who knows me knows that I don't really have, like, when someone goes, "Oh, what's your favorite game?" I find it really difficult to answer because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many
That's a
that
basic
I
question too.
probably, yeah,
You gotta
it,
narrow it down a little bit, like favorite game
yeah,
in this genre or something like that,
yeah.
or
It's
from
such
this
a tough
console.
question. Yeah, I find it even difficult to answer what's your favorite console. But when someone asks me what my favorite game is, I probably have narrowed it down now because so many people have asked me ever since I started making videos, and I was like, oh, I don't know. It is probably Doom, but that's the game that when I was like,
Dude,
oh, massive Doom fan.
Doom.
Yeah,
Oh, let's
massive
go. That's
Doom
pretty
fan.
cool.
But there's a story to why, and that just originates from my childhood. I must have been like 5 years old playing Doom with my granddad. We were sharing the keyboard on his computer, and my brother would always be scared and he'd put his fingers in his ears every time he saw a cyber demon. He would run down the stairs, and that to me, that was like the best memory that I ever had. And it just, as I grew up, I just, even now, like, it's like
Scaring
my
the piss
comfort
out of your
game.
family members is the best part.
Yeah. Oh, if you've played it, you know that the cyber demon's got like goat legs or something, and it makes that like noise of him walking. Every time my brother heard that, he would literally be in tears, like rocking back and forward. And the whole way.
Oh
Oh, but
man.
yeah, they were great
Big
times.
big Doom fan. So I mean, since I have you on that part, since you asked me, or since you told me like one of your favorite games, if not your favorite, which Doom specifically do you still play to this day? Like
Doom 2.
fairly okay. So still on the
Love it.
old school.
Yeah, and I mean, I tried with Eternals so bad, and I wanted to love it. I wanted to love it so bad, but I just didn't. And
What
I
about it?
really did try. I don't know. I think I do play new games, well, newer. But I'm not too sure. I think for me, it just didn't feel as authentic, and I'm really old school, obviously.
Right.
So for me, I think just the whole feel around Doom 2 specifically, just for me, I don't know. It's like a comfort game.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I know Matt and Mike, good friends of mine that I talk to every night on like Xbox and whatever. Mike specifically plays Doom religiously, Eternal specifically, but he likes
Yeah,
like all of the Dooms, and he likes any kind
yeah,
of Doom like game, or at least he tries to like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't quite like he's like, I like the direction, but they've effed up the mechanics or something like that. But he's really big into Doom, and he's actually, when he actually gives a dang and goes at it hard, he's like top 30 in the world. Not even
really?
kidding. Yeah, he is a freaking menace in Doom.
That's so cool.
I posted, or I have posted like pictures or videos of him gaming, and people have been like, damn, this dude looks like a pro. Like, and I swear to God, he is. He is. He's just really really chill about it. He's really chill about it and doesn't really like advertise himself like that. But man, he is a killer. He is a killer. But going on forward, so you said you started out with Sony, the very first PlayStation, went backwards to the Super Nintendo next. What was in store for you then? Were you a collector by that time yet?
No, not yet. No, only because I wasn't an adult and I didn't have adult money. So that didn't exist for me. We got a GameCube then, because at this time it was mine and my brother's. It wasn't until we actually got PS2s that we had separate consoles. And then we were fighting over whose was what, because we always shared the games. And then it was like, well, this was mine. No, it wasn't. And then from then onwards, we got a GameCube then the PS2, but we got two. So we got one each. We were so lucky.
That is mega lucky. Y'all ain't got a scrap.
Yeah. Yeah, and we used to so bad. Like, so bad. If my brother was here, he could tell you I was vicious. Like, super vicious. And I wasn't
What's
even
a memory?
like a good
give me a
gamer.
memory of something that you did that you're just like, yo.
We used to... No, because it makes me sound like a bad person, but I was a child. And I'm obviously nothing like that now, but we used to play Crash Bash a lot. Like, a lot. And I was never great at it, like, at all. And he was so good at it, and it used to really annoy me. Like, really annoy me.
So you was a hater. You was a hater.
I would beat him, like, literally beat him until he made me win. So he let me win so that I wouldn't hit him. I was a child. I was a child, so it doesn't count. But yeah, we used to have many. Yeah, and we're also big wrestling fans as well. So we used to like wrestling move each other. So I know all the good moves. And yeah. Oh, bless him.
Oh my goodness. I didn't expect that. That was tough right there. Oh my goodness. All I know is if I end up ever playing couch co-op, if I end up meeting you at some retro game festival, I am not sitting on the couch next to you to play this game. I'm gonna get my phone out and I'm gonna videotape you taking an L to somebody and seeing what your response is.
I've grown and I've got more experience, so I am a little bit better. Probably not the best.
It's funny that people hit the like button after you're like, I beat the shit out of my brother. Yeah.
No, I did, honestly, I did. I was horrible. I was such a cow when I was younger. I remember this one time, this is awful actually, thinking about it now, and I'm saying this out loud, like, I'm a good person, I swear. I tried to strangle him with the lead of the PS1 remote.
Oh my God.
All because he wouldn't let me win at Crash Bash. And it was just Crash Bash.
Please leave that game at the store if you see it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you own it. Don't tell me you own it.
Crash Bash is great. Is it?
Oh no. You don't got it right there, do you? Oh man, I can see the blood on it. No, I'm just kidding.
Ryan's tears. My brother's called Ryan.
I mean, that's fantastic that you can just like yank that thing right out right there. How many games would you say that you have in total? If you were just to guesstimate. I mean, I'm seeing hundreds.
Well, I use an app So every time I get one, it's kind of cool actually. You scan the barcode. I'm probably telling people stuff they already know, but to me, I was like, oh my goodness,
No, that is
technology's come
cool.
a long way.
I just recently
Um,
learned about that a couple months ago. So you're probably teaching some people
yeah,
some stuff that they didn't know about because I just learned about that. Hey, what's up?
yeah,
And by the
honestly,
way, just one quick second, I just want to say what's up to the chat because I feel like I'm ignoring them a little bit.
yeah,
A
that's
cult
okay.
classic, Cage. What's cracking? You got to tell me how to say this name because you must know this person. Is it Democles? I don't know. I'm hoping I'm saying the name right, but he's really happy to see you here on the show today. Matt likes
Yeah,
games. Fark you is here as well. He says, um, "Hi Ham, great guest. I'm all for the retro talk. Been adding a few more titles to my collection." So, and then he says,
yeah.
everybody hit the like button. So, dope, dude. I appreciate you for coming through and making that announcement and whatnot. Hello, Mr. Joanna Dark, HTK360. Howdy, howdy. What's cracking, you guys? But yeah, please continue. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, absolutely, that's fine. So the app I use is called CLZ Games. Don't know if it's an American thing, but us in the UK seem to be mega behind you guys. So anything that we get, you got 2 years ago. So this is exciting for me. Um, so you get a game, and then you literally just scan it in, and then it will tell you if you have it. So when I go to like the car boots or a charity shop, I'm like, I'm unsure if I own this. The phone tells me. This is great. But my count at the minute is 3,368 games
You're
in
a
total.
you're a menace now in my eyes as
I'm
well.
a,
You're freaking insane. That's a lot of freaking. Is that hard copy all, or is it a mix of digital and hard?
I don't own any digital games.
Whoa,
I'm actually
zero.
lying. I own one on the Switch. Sudoku.
Sudoku of all of them. I thought you were gonna be like, I had to get like Breath of the Wild, and I
Yeah,
just couldn't
no,
find a
you're
copy.
exactly right.
I thought you were
No,
gonna hit me
any
with something like that, but no, you're like, I got Sudoku
I'll
because
go
they don't make a
Sudoku.
hard copy.
No, they don't. It's such a cheap game. If they sold a hard copy, I'd buy it. But yeah, that's probably one of the only digital ones I own. I'm also lying. Doom 2 is digital.
Do you have a hard copy of that as well, though?
On the Game Boy Advanced and the really old school ones, the floppy disks.
Wow.
But they were passed down to me from my granddad.
So
So
yeah,
I
I mean
can't
that's mega
really
old school. The
yeah.
floppy. Do you happen to have? I mean, I'm reaching, and this is when CDs were available. But do you collect any PC games at all?
I've got a few, yeah.
Do you have Zoombinis?
I don't think so. If I
Oh
showed you
man.
what's underneath me, like this looks great. This is great. Under here, no. It's really bad. But this is no, it is. It's really, really bad. This is where the PC games live and the doubles. So I'm swimming in them at the minute, but I'd have
So
to
what are
check
you
on that
planning
one.
on doing with the doubles? Because I'm wondering, did you put the doubles in the app as well? So you have like 3 copies of this or something like that?
There's only like certain things that I will happily have doubles of, like something if it's a bit more expensive and that I pick up. Because within the last 2 years, I wouldn't like to say that I've got good at it, but I think I've become more aware of like when I go to the car boots, I pick up bundles. This is why like I have like triples of some consoles because I have a problem with letting go. So if I pick up like a really nice bundle and it's got like a beautiful PS2 in it, I've got the same PS2 here, but I'll go, no, I can't. I'll keep you. I'll just keep you. It's fine. But yeah, like if let's just say in those bundles you get a really good game that's worth quite a lot of money, I won't let it go. So I'll just keep 2. But
Okay.
then ones that I do keep, yeah, I put them in the app. But the ones that I don't, I put them in this space under the desk, plan on getting rid of them, just never do.
My goodness. Mr. Joanna Dark in the chat, and I'm curious if you have this game. He says he has the 10-disc Flight Simulator 2020 collector's item. Do you do collector's items of any new games, or are you just only retro?
Sometimes. Like, for instance, in a couple days' time, when Hogwarts comes out, absolutely. But that's only because that's the game that I've been looking forward to for, like, the last 12 months. Unless it's something that I'm super passionate about, then no. But old school collector editions, absolutely.
Dope. Thanks everybody for showing up. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button. You guys, fantastic in the chat. I'm really happy to see a lot of you guys. Make sure you share this out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is one of 2 interviews that I'm doing today. I got this interview right here with Danny, or Danielle's Games, whichever one you want to call her. And then later on this evening, I have another episode with the Xbox creator himself, Seamus Blackley, which is a pretty interesting episode to be having later tonight. But I'm really happy to have her here today and definitely be able to accommodate on the time, because she lives all the way out in the UK, and you know, I'm in America, so she's like 5 hours ahead of me or something like that, 5 or 6 hours or something. So I'm very happy to accommodate her and get her on the show at a good time and whatnot. But now I want to go to the GameCube, because you said that was the very next console that you got, and I think you're a lunatic for having 6 GameCubes and then saying I had 8, but I sold a couple. Like wow. And I was just sitting there like, I don't know what she's doing with all these GameCube. Maybe she paints her nails black and she needs to play on the black GameCube, and then she paints the toenails purple, and she's rocking the purple the purple console with a black controller. I don't know what's going on over there. but holler at me. What's happening? Why do you have so many dang GameCubes?
If you buy a t-shirt and you like how it fits, you're going to buy it in another colour.
Sure.
If it comes in another colour, I need it. But then that doesn't really explain it, because I've got like 3 indigo ones. But it's because I can't. No, to be honest, there's no explanation for it. Okay, there isn't. I don't have an explanation.
She's running out of excuses, y'all. She's running out of excuses.
I like it.
Okay, well then tell me why you like it. Why back then was it so special to you? So you got this GameCube when you were still a kiddo, you know, right? Like, what were you, like 10 or 12 or something like that? Maybe 13?
Yeah, I was in secondary school. That was like my prime. But even then, not collecting was actually really abusive to everything I owned. Didn't look after it properly. The original consoles that I have from me as a child have like Sharpie on them, had stuff drawn on them, and just weren't looked after properly.
Oh, that's so bad. I get mad when I go to look for a game and I'm like, oh, I found it. And then I open it up, or like go talk to the person at the register, and they pull out the game and it has like somebody's name on it. I'm like, put it back.
Yes. Sorry, that was mine. You picked up mine. Yeah. So I think as I got older, and I wish, the only thing that I regret, I just wish I just started it just a few more years earlier than I did, because I started collecting just as it started to get really expensive. I just wish that I just would have started a few years earlier, and then I probably would have been a lot better off and had a bit more. But it is what it is. I don't know. I don't really know what started it, because I don't consistently post on Twitter, but on my TikTok I posted a video about what it looked like in here before I decided I'm going to build a games room, like a proper one. I had a unit with everything I owned on it, and then I just one day was just like, no, I need to build a games room. And then ever since then I did. And then it wasn't until the lockdown that I decided, actually, I need to go further with this and get more. And that's when I started making videos on TikTok. So that was 2 years ago, almost.
I love how many people during the lockdown and stuff like that started to kind of fill a groove with some sort of content creation of their own.
Yeah.
I'm one of I should like try to figure out a name to call that. Maybe like the I don't know, the lockdown. I don't know, the lockdown babies or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was like literally a surge in like content creation from people of all types, whether it's gaming or whatever. When the lockdown happened, people found a place, or at least found the courage to get up and do something because everybody's sitting around bored, right?
Yeah.
And I personally like, your story a little bit because I mean, I kind of came up the same way. I was like, like I really love gaming and I don't really have a whole lot of people to talk to it about. And the people I do have to talk to it about, they have their own preferences. So we're just more or less arguing all the time. I don't have very many like-minded people. So making content and with me moving like 3 different times in the last in the last like 4 years, it's just like I have like not enough people to talk to other than my wife and my 4, which is now 5-year-old daughter. And she ain't gonna know what the heck I'm talking about. So it's just like I had to escape, and so I went to the internet and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start making all this stuff. Hit up my buddy Matt Likes Games and was like, yo, bro, what do you think of this idea of me just interviewing people all over the world? I didn't even say all over the world then. I just said just interviewing people and seeing what where they came from, how they like gaming. And he's like, that's a good idea. So I had him on my very first episode. Just to get some confidence going, right? And also he's a dope dude that loves games. So, and he has his own channel. So it was easy for me to be like, yo, you want me to show out with you? And he's like, absolutely. But I mean, now I'm past 100 episodes. I'm at like 120 episodes of doing Behind Them Six. I've talked to over like 120 people. It's insane. It's insane. Where this is all gone, some of the people that I've talked to. I just think it's dope that I can have the reach of reaching somebody overseas like yourself and being able to still have a like mind on some of this stuff. I mean, I'm not beating the hell out of my brother, but I mean, but we definitely have some gaming stuff in common. I mean, there was a couple scuffles that I had with my cousin back in the day gaming. So I mean, I mean, you ain't too crazy, or at least maybe we're both crazy. I don't know.
I'll take it. Oh no, that's really nice. I think lockdown for a lot of people, I think people had time alone with their thoughts, which gave people a lot of self-recognition. So I feel like a lot of people turned to stuff like this, and I think it's lovely. And I completely agree with you. I love speaking to people all over the world. I love it. I think it's such a nice thing to be brought together by.
Yeah. Oh man. So next question I kind of got for you is, so if the GameCube was that passionate for you, would you go as far as saying it's your favorite console? Is it the most? Is it the one console you have the most of?
No.
What? I was just expecting it to be a simple yes and we could move on. What the hell is going on here? What other consoles do you have more than 6 of?
PlayStation 2.
The PS2.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because you said that you have all like those colors except the yellow one, right?
And not only that, because they released the PS2 Slim. So, and here they came in pink, silver, black. And then the PS2 comes in like rose gold, black, silver. The yellow one is so expensive.
How much
is
is
Japanese. Like £1,000. It's just too much money.
No,
I just
not for a
like
PlayStation
I want
or 2.
I want it so bad, But I just think, how many games could I buy for that? The hard hitters like that are the ones that really, they take a toll, because it's a lot of consideration to do. Like, my goal, it's very unrealistic, but I plan to do it, and I am trying. I want a full PAL region library of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. That's ideally my goal, and that is a lot of games. I know that.
Might need to get a bigger room.
Yeah.
Running out of space.
I need to knock the wall through.
Yeah, hey, you might have to. But going over to the chat real quick before we go to the next console or whatnot that you got. Blind Giant, what's cracking? Good to see you up in here. Nelson Gaming. Let's see. Some of the stuff that they are saying in the chat. Miss Joanna Dark says, you can never have enough Nintendo consoles. I own multiple 3DSs. Oh my goodness. So he agrees with you on that point. You can never have too many Nintendos. Dragonheart Yobi, what's cracking?
Come in different colors. When they release stuff that comes out in different colors, you need them all. It's a lifestyle.
So what? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to stop. All right, continuing on with the chat. Dragonheart Yobi says, "Let's go, Ham." He's up in the building. What's cracking? HTK360 said, "Was awesome having you on the OG LG channel on Tuesday. Yeah, that was a fantastic show. Had a really good time with Mike. He's a stand-up guy. Really, he's probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met on YouTube or Twitter or whatnot. He's just super duper honest, and he's just welcoming. And man, he hooked me up with some subscribers. I was just like, wow, like that was pretty cool. But moving on, Blind Giant says, "What's up?" Farku says, "I regret some of my childhood games, how I treated them." He's saying some stuff that has you, that you see, you reminding people of they bad pass right now, which is okay. But because we were all there. I mean, yeah. But anyways, he said I treated them or chucked them cases away because they were broken. I still have my Sonic CD, just don't have the case anymore. That game goes for around $75. Yeah. I mean, it's an expensive game. I've seen it here without the case for $100. And yeah.
Some are crazy, and I have a really horrible story. Then this happened quite recently, actually.
Enlighten me. Let's go. I love stories.
It's awful. It's honestly awful. So probably about 6 months ago, I was being really chaotic in here. And I was moving bookcase of PS1 games that I was gonna move over there. So there was stuff all over the floor. And I've actually framed this as like a memorial because of how sad I am about it. On the floor was a copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night for PlayStation 1.
Uh-oh.
And if you don't know how much it is here, it's about £400. It's on the floor. My fat foot goes into it, snaps the disc. The disc snapped, and I was like in tears, floods of tears, crying over the disc. So I thought, you know what, actually, that would look really cool in a frame. So I've got up behind me up there.
That's what's framed in the disc back there?
Oh, it's there, yeah. It's Castlevania, but it's got a crack in it. And then I literally was just talking about it so casually on live, and I was laughing about it. I was like, oh, it is what it is. It happens. And then bless, we have like a little community on TikTok, and everyone put together like a little thing. And then I had this like package come in the day. And I went live one day, and they bought me a new copy.
That's
The
insane.
community over at TikTok bought me a new copy for it, and I was like, oh my god, like in floods of tears on a live, because I know how expensive it is. I don't know if it's the same over there, because I think our prices are a little bit different depending. Like some things are rare over there that aren't really here. A
I'd like
prime
to think that
example of
game
that
is rare
is,
everywhere, in my opinion. I'd like to
yeah,
think that game is.
that one is. But I think over there, because I always do look, I think Def Jam Fight for New York on the PlayStation 2 over there. Is that a dear one? Because over
Uh,
here it isn't.
wait. How much?
It's about 40 quid.
That's cheap.
That's what I mean. And I look over there and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like 120 to like 150 for that like same game over here.
Yeah, that's mad.
Oh man, maybe I mean I'll talk to you after the stream.
You want me to slide you a copy?
Mr. Joanna Dark, don't come in here talking that mess. He says I still have my Sega Nomad still, which was the OG Switch, and I hate you for bringing that up because I sold my Nomad. I sold it when I was a kid. I was, making those dumb decisions. Trying to, I need to get the newest, best console. Let me sell this piece of hardware that I didn't know was going to be freaking hundreds of dollars later on. That thing goes for like $300 now.
Yeah, that's
I bought it for like 50.
The market these days is just, it's nuts.
It is.
It really is.
What would you say is the most expensive game that you have? Like, bar none.
Probably Castlevania, or maybe Mega Man X4 on the PS1, or Tombi. I know you guys call it Tomba, but we call it Tombi.
Okay. I know. Yeah, we always say everything wrong over here. It's okay.
Yeah. I think it's us.
I mean, we make up words, and then we give them to you guys.
I most of my friends on TikTok are from America, and we have discussions about this all the time and I think I've come to the conclusion it's us that are in the wrong. I think it is us, because we've come to so many conclusions of things that we say that make no sense to
Don't let them bully you. Don't let them bully you.
I get so much stick for it because I'm talking and they're going, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, what up, Dre Watson? I see. Yeah. So moving on, because we still have other things that we need to talk about, so we need to get over this thing.
Yeah, sorry.
But no. It's as much me as it could even be partially you. I'm really bad at moving forward in conversation. But let's see. So I want you to tell me what was after like the GameCube. What was like the next new console that you got?
PS2.
After the GameCube.
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and my brother, we got separate PS2s, and then with our pocket money, we went out and got the games. But at this point, the PS2 was kind of old, so the games were really cheap. Because, like I said, I didn't own like a Dreamcast when I was younger. That wasn't until I was an adult. Same with the Master System, Mega Drive, Genesis. What other one? N64. I'd played an N64 when I was younger, but I never owned one.
Until now, because I can see it.
Oh, yeah, until now. So I think my first one I probably got about 9 years ago.
9 years ago. Okay, well, you're getting close, and you're scratching a little bit on the question I want to ask. I'm waiting till the finish line to ask this question. Okay, so that's then and there. Moving to like the 360 or actually, let me ask you this question: When did you first get an Xbox? Was it way after, like around now, closer to now than back then?
Xbox 360. Again, I had played an original Xbox, but I fully owned myself a 360 when I was in secondary school. And I was actually kind of new with that one. Like normally I would get a console years after they came out, but I was really lucky and got a 360. Probably about a year after it came out, back in the Modern Warfare 2 days. Black
Preach.
Ops. They were great. And I was in secondary school then, so literally I was one of them kids on the headset saying all of those horrible things. But they were great days. So yeah, 360. And then this is where I stopped. My brother got a PS3. I had no interest at this point. I was Team Xbox.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
I'm an Xbox guy. I don't care. So like,
okay.
I'm just saying, oh my gosh, like here you are swapping sides, moving around, doing your thing.
This is what I mean. So I had the Xbox 360 and then went on to get the Xbox One and now PS5.
So you just jump around. You just jump to whatever sounds good. You don't you could care less about the drama on Twitter. You don't care about It's just like, yo, if y'all pumping out games, I'm buying it.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like as I said, and honestly, I genuinely do mean it. Like techie wise, if you ask me why I chose the PS5 over the new Xbox, it's because both of them were very hard to get, and the PS5 was the one that I could get my hands on. So I got the PS5, and then once I had that,
it's usually the other way around when I hear people talk. They're like, "Oh, like I wanted a PS5, but I ended up with a Series S."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even now, both are so hard to get hold of here. So it was just the first one that I could get, and I was like, "Well, I've got it now. I don't really need to get the Xbox."
You're saying still at this point, the PS5 and Series X are still hard to get over where you're at.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you're not in like the boonies, like middle of nowhere.
No.
Oh,
I live on the south coast of England, so about an hour away from London, and still no. People when they are released, people buy them and then sell them for like £800, and people pay it. Christmas was nuts. Like the last 2 Christmases have been mental, but bless people, they're actually paying it.
That's too bad.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's why. I do love the PS5 though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it's nice.
I do still play my Xbox One though.
You still play your Xbox One?
Yeah, I love it.
Aw, man, she ain't sunsetting nothing. Sunsetting nothing. All these consoles are live, except that Atari that's still in the box because you said it's brand new.
Yeah, it is. It was in my granddad's loft.
Okay, so you kind of summed it up, and now I'm just gonna sprint past and ask the question.
On them.
Might as well go on ahead. So, where in your history did you just say, you know what? Getting it all. Screw it. Getting every single thing I can find. It's going to be plastered all over my room. I'm going to make a mess and I'm going to love it.
Probably about 6 years ago. 6 years ago is when I was like, that's it. I just need
So this is clear before your content creation time.
Oh, yeah. Facebook Marketplace had only just become a thing. And if you have ever seen me post, I do get a lot from Facebook Marketplace. I live rent-free on there. So that had just become a thing. Back then, as I said, I do wish I did have this like epiphany about 3 years before I did. But it was still relatively cheap even 6 years ago. Like people were getting rid of stuff like even for free, like GameCubes for free. N64, I bought a boxed one 6 years ago from this really dodgy house, but for £30, and the box is beautiful. What? That's what I'm saying. And then the thrill of that, I was like, I love this. Like, and I was just, in my head, I was thinking, oh my goodness, like, this is just so much fun, because I never really did a lot on the weekends anyway. And that gave me something to do. And it was like, obviously, anybody who's a bit older than me remembers what it's like to get their first N64, their first Super Nintendo, their first NES. I was doing this in adulthood with adult money, and it was brilliant. It was so much fun. And I was playing this stuff for the first time, and I was like, this is amazing. So I felt
That's
like
super dope.
As lucky as you guys were to experience it as kids, I am still a kid. Like, I'm not saying that because of my age at all. I mean, like, in here, I am still like Toys R Us mad. Like, I still play with actual toys, like little fidgets and stuff like that. I collect old Happy Meal toys. Like, it goes a little bit further than games, because I am branching out a little bit, and I do get a bit distracted, and I just see everything, and I'm like, oh my God, I need it. But yeah, so in my world, it was like living my childhood, but through an adult's life, but with adult money. That's the best part.
What I think is insane about your story right there is you were in the trenches to get some of these consoles and stuff like that. Like, like, like she's like, I went to this sketchy house and I came out with the 64 for 30 bones. Like, damn.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing that, if as I said, I love Facebook Marketplace, but if I could eliminate anything from it, it would be the meetups. Because I like in person, even the car boots, like I think you guys call car boots swap meets, flea market. The car boots are a very strange place where you get some characters there, and I feel like, me personally, I don't have like a lot of front, but in these moments I have to have a lot of front. So when I go to these places to pick stuff up, it's sometimes the places are quite dodgy, and the people are like, oh, come in, like, and then I'm stood in like a front room, like literally going, oh my goodness, like, is today gonna be the day? Do you know what I mean?
She out here, she ready to die for a game.
Yeah, today's the day. So yeah, but it's all worth it.
Oh shit. I mean, that's wild. Let me move to the chat real quick and just holler at them. Fark you in the chat earlier said, Danielle, you gonna need a mansion for that collection. And he's talking about that PlayStation collection that you were talking about earlier. Which is, yeah, that's wild that you're trying to get everything. Let's see. Nelson Gaming says, how much was Mega Man X4? Damn, did not sell good.
Yeah, no, it didn't. I was so lucky with that one. I paid, I think, £25 for it. That was at a car boot of someone with not too much knowledge. I think it was just because they was like, oh, it's an old video game, but they didn't realise to the extent of it. And I think it probably sells for about £3.50 now.
Ooh, jeez.
Yeah, sometimes, and this is what I mean. I think this is one thing that I love about it as well. The thrill inside of me when it's not car boot season at the minute because it's too cold. But back in the spring, when they open up again, when I see like a tub full of rubbish, and then it's got like PS1 games just tucked in the side, or like old NES cartridges, and then there's like a woman like, oh, I don't know what it is, like that'll be 99p. I'm like, oh my God, it's like you've just won the lottery. Like, I'm like breaking a sweat going, okay. Stay calm.
Yeah, you know, right. I mean? You almost want to cover it up, like she doesn't know what she has. Don't look.
Yeah, but my face, like I'm awful with stuff like that. I'm like, okay, and then I always laugh. So, but them situations, like, this is what I'm saying. The situations that you have to put yourself in to actually gain all of this stuff is nuts.
My buddy Hard Days Mike, he's in the chat as his name, Michael Raymond. He said, I was told Doom was mentioned.
Has he been summoned by the word Doom?
Yes, he
Is this
was.
the friend who's like top 30?
Yeah. Michael, go on ahead and tell him your stats, bro. Go on ahead and tell him when you were gaming hard, you were in that top 100 in the world for Doom. I don't remember what specific number he was.
I'll show you one thing that I'm actually really proud of. Right, so this, I have shown this on my TikTok. A few years ago, they released a bottle of Doom Bone Vodka.
Wow.
Which is in the box
You getting
that it
drunk
comes
on Doom?
Yeah, it's signed by John Romero.
What?
Yeah, I know. But the one that I have, I opened it. I really shouldn't have. I wish this is the one thing I'm kicking myself of. All the wax was like down here, and I had to try it. Obviously, they don't sell this anymore. But they made 4,000 bottles, and my bottle is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was like, my baby. But I was so stupid, and I opened it, and I really wish I hadn't. But yeah, it's made from bone marrow.
That's insane. My buddy Mike came in here with the stats. He's letting everybody know.
What's the
and
stats?
I'm gonna put it on blast right now. He said Doom Eternal Horde mode, number 12 in the world on nightmare difficulty.
Oh my goodness. I need to see it.
I'm telling you, this man's a freaking lunatic on the battlefield. The way he switches guns and just jumps and bursts, like I couldn't do that button mashing. Like, I don't know what he's doing. He breaks controllers. He gets he literally breaks controllers and will also get cramps because he's so fast at moving. And if the controller feels wrong, he'll fuck his hand all up for the day.
I need to see it.
Oh man,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to DM you when he goes live so you can check it out.
Yeah,
because it's what you guys would call mental.
Mental.
Yeah. All right. So going on in the chat, I didn't forget some of the some of the other guys. Nelson Gaming said Series X are still hard to find in the US. They even they don't send any of the Series S's to the GameStop. I was told, I was at a fort of them in the storage room. Oh, it was cool looking. Okay, I see what he's saying. But he also said that he's currently playing Turok right now on his 64. Which shout out to Eazy-E. He was here earlier and he mentioned that he wanted to have a 64, like a fully kitted out 64 and whatnot. And I just thought it was really ironic that Eazy-E wanted a 6-SPO. Because that is like the thing that he does. Like, cruising down the street in my 6-4. That's his song. And the dude named Eazy-E showed up in my chat asking for a 64. And I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, so I mean that's wild that you have a signed bottle 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's great. I just wish I never opened it.
But whatever. You had the experience. You had the experience. I mean, who knows? You might be able to sell it one day from the great Danielle Games. A sip from this fine vodka from Doom, signed by John. Who knows what will happen in the future. But anyways, moving on. So we went through a lot of your gaming histories, some of the aggressiveness that you had in the past with it, some of the sketchy moments you had in people's living rooms, wondering if you was gonna live through this transaction. I mean, but you play all sorts of things, whether it's new or old. You're a heavy collector when it comes to gaming. You started doing the content creation back during the lockdown time, but that's where I'm gonna that's what I want to talk about now real quick, is some of the content creation, what your plans are with it, how you got started, and all of that kind of stuff. So let's start off first on the reason. What was the reason why you felt the need? I mean, obviously, lockdown's one excuse, sure, but there had to be something pent up, like there was for me, to be able to be like, all right, I need to do this, because you've been collecting consoles and games way before you even planned on doing that. So you didn't do this for clout, or like, hey, you guys, look, I'm a gamer and I'm a female.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do that. You've been walking in people's front rooms asking for consoles and stuff.
I've been strangling men.
So break it down for me. Why content creation for you?
Do you know what? It's a really awkward one, because I always say this when anyone ever says that. I'm like, am I really a creator? Don't know. I would always say that I just like share what I do and any pickups I get. But obviously it started off at TikTok. Everyone got TikTok in the lockdown. And I actually asked my brother, I said, you know what we should do? A podcast. I said, I feel like the way me and you are and the things we talk about, and obviously we game together anyway, I said we should make a TikTok together. He literally told me to go away and said no. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it on my own then. So I did. And then just, it started off as just, I used to do small little snippets of gameplay videos where someone would be like, oh, that's a cool room, I bet you haven't got this one. And I'll be like, I actually do, like, and I'll show them there. And then that used to be a thing. And then, yeah, just kind of like built from there. And then I got banned and lost my account. So I had to start all over again. That was probably about a year in. This is just TikTok. Obviously, TikTok's a really weird place, but I think it's just where I'm at the moment, because I don't know how to YouTube. I don't know. And
you're doing fantastic on there. Like y'all go check out her TikTok. It's really interesting. She shows off a lot of the stuff that she has. She plays. Yeah. She has some of the like gameplay and stuff like that on her. This girl has 41.6 thousand followers on there, so she has a pretty serious following over there. You guys go check her out. See what she does. See if you're interested. Hit that follow button. It costs zero money to do so. And you'll be able to see some dope stuff that you may have forgot about that you might want to go try to pick up, spend your bottom dollar on, because some of these things are super expensive now. But yeah, so tell me more. So yeah, so you got into it. You were talking to who did you say, your brother?
Yeah.
About making a podcast, and he laughed you out the room pretty much.
Yeah, he was like, go away. He was like, nah, it's not really my thing. And this is the thing. My brother, his name is Ryan. He has always, my entire life, been my only gamer friend. I've never had gaming friends. So for me, when I started making friends, especially friends from across the world, I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is amazing. Like, I can share the excitement of a new game coming out with somebody. And like, finally, I have like a little community of people that like are just as excited if I'm like, you never guess what I picked up for 20 quid. Like, do you know what I mean? Because that's the only thing. Like, I love my friends to pieces, but they've never understood any of this. And truth be told, not really anyone knows about it. So it's not that I'm ashamed or anything. It's just, I just never really think they'd understand.
No, I'm right there with you on that. I'm right there with you on that. I think my mom knows I do content creation, and a couple and like less than a handful of friends know that I really do this, like, personally.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's just like, I'm not going to go really run and tell them about it, because I was never really talking to them about video games anyways. So like,
yeah,
I don't really like I want to talk to the people that are interested in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That you want to share it with people who spark an interest for it. And I think for me, not telling them, I think it's because I feel more comfortable being my true, authentic self, being able to share this excitement with so many other people. And there has been a few times where one of my videos has popped up on the view page, and someone's gone, "Oh my God, is that you?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And stop it. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh God, yeah, that's me. Okay, let's just not talk about it. And it's not because I'm ashamed. It's I just feel more comfortable doing it, knowing that people that I'm not going to bump into at the co-op, like a corner shop, aren't going to be like saying anything. Do you know what I mean? I think I always fear judgment with stuff like that, but I think I've just fully started to be like, I don't care anymore. This is my life, so.
Well, I love that you actually brought that up because I want to ask you a question that's along that line. And I want you to tell me what it was like, making content or, making these TikToks or whatever videos that you've done. Like, how was it for you breaking out of that shell? Because for me, it was like very like I had high expectations but didn't have like any knowledge.
Yeah.
So I feel like I failed like really quickly. That's what I felt like. But everyone was telling me that you're doing really good. You're actually doing better than yada yada and all this other stuff. And I'm just like that's cool that you think that. Like that's the way I looked at it.
That's just in a saboteur, isn't it? It's everyone's always going to think stuff like that about themselves, and I can completely relate. Like you put something and you're like, oh, I don't know, and then someone's like, oh, that's really good, and you're like, oh no, I know exactly what you mean. To start off with, very, very shy. And I probably would still say I am a little bit shy, and I've got a tiny more way to go before I feel like I just don't care. At first, I wouldn't show my face. I wouldn't actually give my real name. I didn't change my username until about 4 months in. I was just user 5999 or something like that.
Okay.
So I never showed my face. I never spoke. I just showed stuff and put like text over it. And they were pretty amateur videos. And this is on my old account. And this was before I had Instagram or Twitter. I'm fairly new to Twitter and Instagram as well. But in regard to TikTok, I think it was about 28,000 followers. And where I used to record gameplays, I got banned and I lost my account. I lost all of my videos. I lost all of my friends, everything that I'd done for about a year. And this was March last year that happened. And I never got it back.
I've seen that on your TikTok. I've seen that actually, that you had to restart.
I had to make a new account and start again.
Why did that happen?
Because TikTok is a really strange place and their guidelines are very weird. I posted a video, I don't know if you know the game. I was probably pushing it a little bit, but Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, yeah, let's go. I love that game.
Yeah, okay, I might have been pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, you were pushing it.
But this is what I mean. I thought it was acceptable because there were real life humans doing that sort of stuff. And I was like, it's just a game. And I had posted Playboy Mansion like about 3 weeks beforehand, and it was fine. And it was like a big, like, banned, you're gone. And I never managed to get it back. I lost like literally everything. At the time I was on there, and I'm not on it this time because it's pointless, but and it's more about the principle, but I was on the creator fund that they have on there, and I think I had about £78 in there. That was gone. All of my followers were gone, all of my messages, every video, all of my saved sounds just all gone. And I was like, oh God. And I wasn't actually going to do it again. And that's when I joined Twitter, and then I got on Instagram, and I was like, let's go again.
Mm.
So yeah.
Was there any fear of or thought of just saying screw it?
Yeah. Because I'd made a video just because I wanted to reconnect with the friends that I had made. I didn't want to lose the communications that we had because we had been liaising beforehand, and I didn't want to lose the friendships that I'd made with these people. And I was pretty amateur. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have Twitter. But that was my main source of communication with these people. So I made another one and just said, look, I don't really know what I'm going to do here, but I would still love to support everybody else. And I still want to talk to you guys. So that's that. And then I think I missed it. I missed doing it because I enjoyed it. It just slowed down massively. I didn't have as much enthusiasm as before. And we just had to go from there, I guess.
Damn. That sounds terrible.
It was rubbish because of the way that they like TikTok treat you. Like, it's quite a rubbish app. There's zero customer support. Yeah. But for me, it's very simple. Do you know what I mean? It's so easy to make a video on there. It's so easy to put a sound over something. And for someone like who's not a technophobe, but I'm not great with technology in regards to like even the setup that I'm looking at that you've got, the microphone is enough for me to go, I don't know what I'm doing. You know?
This right here is like my setup, really. I mean, other than my PC, because my PC is a whole nother can of worms. But like the setup that I'm using to be on camera, the boom arm, the mic, the lights was like maybe $150. That's not bad. If you have a laptop, you could get yourself set up real fast and easy. And all you'd have to really do is download OBS and watch some YouTube videos and you'll feel techie in no time.
I've spoke about this for so long, and it's just I'm so old school with it. Like literally, if I was to go live on TikTok, I put my phone up, I sit there, I record the telly, and that's that. So that's what I mean. That's the only reason I like it, is just because for me it's simple.
I tell you what you're telling me right now is I overspent. Like, you spent way too much money. You didn't have to do all that now. But anyways, fantastic. Happy that you got to get your followers back for the most part and get, going again. You got the community back on your side and whatnot. Really dope stuff. So first of all, before we go into like kind of the quick hit questions that I got, to kind of wind down the show a little bit, I want you to kind of give some shout outs to some people that's been really, really helpful to your upbringing, whether it was just like life or life and gaming or gaming, just whatever you want to do. Like shout out some names if you feel comfortable doing that, and let people know.
Probably the first friends that I had ever made. We both had like 80 followers at the time. His username is RetroSega81. He became my best friend, and he is at the top of the country and I am literally at the bottom. But we became such good friends and we have grown together. And when I lost my account, he had my back and he tried everything, and so did Super Lit Mario. I don't know if anyone's familiar with him. These are all UK creators, but these have been like friends that I've made that are like genuine friends. And then over in the US, there's just so many. There are so many. We have such a lovely community. Like, these are people that I speak to every day more than my real life friends. That's the thing. And we don't even just talk about gaming. That's the thing.
Well, that's the best kind of friend. You know, I mean, you have a
Yeah.
friend in the thing that you like, but once you can expand outside of that thing, that's when you know you got somebody.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've become really, really good friends with a content creator on TikTok, Twitter, Insta, called Lost in the 80s and 90s. And honestly, if you think my collection is something, I look at his and my jaw is like, mine sucks because I'm looking at yours and it's nuts. I have become such good friends with his wife and his kids, and we have such a lovely thing going on. And these are people who like support anything that I do. So, you know, like the times that you spoke about where you feel a bit rubbish about if you've posted something or you've done something online and you're like, oh, I
Right.
don't know what I'm doing. These are people who are like, no, you're doing great. I love this, and you're doing this right, and like give it to you like just black and white. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Other than that, my brother really, and my granddad, my lovely granddad.
That's awesome.
That's just the best memory that I have, I think.
Fantastic.
He is still alive. Sorry, I'm making it sound out like he's died, but he's still alive. I'm going, oh, I really miss those times. He's like literally, and it's amazing because he's 80 years old this month, and he sits there on his laptop and he's like, oh, Danielle, can you put £20 on my Steam account for me so we can buy like, oh, honestly, it breaks my heart. I'm like, of course I can. And then he's buying diamonds on Game of Thrones and he plays online, and my heart.
God bless that man. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Gaming has gone a long ways.
It has.
It really has. But what would you say was probably, I mean, since we're on the subject of touching moments, what would you say was probably like the most heartfelt moment that you've had within gaming?
Probably the one that I said about.
Just now?
Yeah, like genuinely like that. I think it's something that I will remember for the rest of my life. Like, it probably is meaningless to someone else, but when I think back to me being a child and like just, we didn't go outside. This country's cold, but we were so young and we would sit in this little spare room and it was tiny and we was like all squashed on like one office chair, sharing a keyboard, playing Doom. That's like the best thing. That, you know, that's
Absolutely.
something that I will remember for the rest of my life.
In the fields right there. In the fields.
Yeah.
Well, now that we did all that positive talk, let's touch something negative real quick.
Okay, got this.
So what gaming genre do you like refuse to play or just like walk by? And the way I like to break this down for people is like, let's imagine that you're walking into like a Blockbuster or like some sort of game store. And when you go in there, the games, and I wish they would do this in real life, but the games are out in genres. Sports. Which is the last you said that without me even, I didn't even get to finish my sentence. She said sports. Do you own any sports games that aren't goofy sports games?
Yeah, loads. I'd probably own every FIFA ever made. Like, and the thing is, I used to enjoy FIFA. I really did. The indoor football, I think it's on FIFA 98. Brilliant. But nowadays, the Maddens, NFL, FIFA, the only one that I have an acceptance for is any wrestling game.
Like WWE?
Yeah, love WWE. I went to Clash at the Castle this year.
Damn.
That was our first pay-per-view in 30 years. And now we've got Money in the Bank in July.
So you're stoked.
I am buzzing. I don't know if you saw, I bought 4 replica belts They're on my floor. It's really, really
What the
neglectful because they
hell
are
do
on the
you
floor.
need 4 of? Do you get 4 of everything at the minimum?
They're not all the same. One's an intercontinental, universal.
Okay, so you got 4 different type of belts.
Oh yeah, no. I made it sound out like I got 4 of the same one.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
possible in my eyes to you.
To be fair, yes. Yeah, no.
All right.
I want a trophy, like a trophy cabinet with the belts. I just don't have the room for it right now.
You don't. You barely
No.
got the room for what you got right now.
Yeah. If you
Um,
saw the desk this computer's on, you'd be like, oh.
yeah, Arcade in the chat says wrestling. Yes.
Yes.
Looks like they're happy to hear that. Yeah, so that's super duper dope. Venom Rain, welcome to the stream. Thank you everybody for showing up. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button so you can come back and see more different types of shows that I got. And also every episode I do this show Behind Them Six. Today I got a double header with Danielle Games here or Danny, whichever one you want to call it, and then Seamus Blackley a little bit later this evening. But moving on, what would you say are what would be like the worst game that you ever played? A game that made you just furious?
Superman 64 is up there.
Oh, come on now. I mean, that's one of the worst games of all time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a very cliche worst game, but it's one of the most frustrating because it's just stupid. What else is really bad? I really didn't like Home Alone 2 on the NES.
Ooh, yeah, that game was rough.
That's a really bad one as well. I own it, but you know. Probably Superman 64.
So you're gonna die on that hill with Superman.
Yeah, I think so. But the thing is, I don't want to say this is the worst game I ever played. I think it's because I didn't give it a chance. But I was really excited for a particular game that came out, and when I played it, I gave it an hour's worth of my time, and then was like, and that's Elden Ring.
No! What?
I was so excited. Honestly, there's a video of me on my TikTok, and I'm walking out of the shop, and I'm like, yes, got it on the day of release. I put it in for an hour, and then after the hour, I was like a balloon had been let out of air. I was like, either I'm just really bad at it, or the game's bad.
I think you're really bad at it.
I think I'm the problem.
Yeah. Matt Likes Games in the chat said, "Oh my God, no."
I knew that would cause some controversy. I'm not going to put it out and say that it's like in the category with something as bad as like Superman 64. However, for me, but I think it's down to skill, to which at that game I have none. I gave it an hour and was like, yeah, no.
Were you ever big into Souls games before, though?
I played them a couple times, so no. So I'm going to put it down to that reason. But I was really excited for it to come out, and then when it came out, I was like, oh, I can't stop dying.
The chat ain't feeling it. He's Farq
No,
says,
"No,
stop the show, stop the slander."
I'm sorry. And I haven't given it the benefit of the doubt and picked it up again, but then I have seen footage of it, and I'm just like, not really. I don't know.
Well, Arcade has you back again on this one. He said, "I uninstalled Elden Ring with the quickness. Would have thought I was a Flash." Ain't rocking with it, I guess. Hey, it's not for everybody, and they did their best to let everybody know, hey, this is a Souls game. You might not like this. It is very
Yeah,
unforgiving.
you might not like this. I like
Yeah.
that.
My brother Gaming Forte, he works at a GameStop, I believe, out where he lives, and he said he's seen a ton of people come in and buy and buy Elden Ring, and he got to re-meet a lot of those people. They came right back.
See, that would be me, but I can't trade it in because I've learned a lesson, and if it's anything, don't trade stuff in anymore. Just don't ever
Don't do
do
it,
it.
y'all, for real, because
Just
you will
yeah,
regret it.
will
This generation's
anything.
different though, because everything's so digital and stuff now.
Yeah,
A lot of people buy their stuff digitally, but back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like specifically me in the 90s and early 2000s, I was stupid. I sold so many things away that are worth so much money now. It's
yeah, and
insane when I think when I go back. I often don't like to think about it because it's depressing.
yeah, you kick yourself, don't you? Because you just think, oh my God, where is that now? Probably floating in the sea, like a nice copy of like Castlevania, just floating. Yeah, I do agree with you though.
Venom Rain, please don't apologize. He said sorry, playing and watching and watching Bluetooth on my pickup controller, typing on Xbox. LOL. Okay, so he's on his Xbox and whatnot. But yeah, no need to apologize. I'm just happy you're here. So I appreciate it. Do your thing. Many people just listen to it. I'd like to get this show on Spotify and like Anchor and all that stuff too, but I don't know how to. See, I'm not that techie. I don't know how to do that yet.
You're not techie.
I'm not techie enough to know how to do that and make that like something that happens, because I've done it before, but then I don't remember how I did it, and I don't remember what the login to the account was that I did it with. It's just like I was just a mess trying to figure that out. But I'd definitely like to do that at some point. Oh, he said phone. My bad, phone. So, anyways, continuing on. Now we know that you really don't like Elden Ring, Superman on 64, and a few other games. What are the best 3 games that you've played in the last year? In just the last year. And it doesn't have to be a game that came out in the last year. Just 3 games that you really enjoyed in the last 365.
Days Gone. Uncharted 4 and Deathloop.
And Deathloop?
Yeah, come on.
No. I don't have any problem with that. Actually, my bro Matt Likes Games is a Arcane stan. Like he loves anything Arcane. So no. I just didn't see that coming because you said 2 PlayStation games and then you just jumped over to, I guess Deathloop was on PlayStation as well. So, that makes sense. I just threw me for a loop. It threw me for a Deathloop.
People were like, what? I only played it because it was on PS Plus and I was like, whoa, what's this? But that's the thing. I am not fast. Like, unless I want to buy it, I'm not there on release day anymore. Like I said, Hogwarts, absolutely. But unless it's something that I'm really interested in, I'm always really late. Like, I'd never played Uncharted 4 until last year. That was the first
fantastic
time I played
game.
it, and I was like, amazing. I was like literally blown away. Days Gone, I was like jaw to the floor.
Man, the way they did the brother in that game, the way they did Drake with the brother in the game was just so disrespectful.
Amazing.
I was just like, bro, you really drug me out here like this?
Yeah, it was so good. Like, yeah. I love a game that gets me really invested, where I'm like invested in the story and I'm like up at 5 a.m. even though I've got work at 7, like eyes burning because I just can't get enough of the story.
I'm telling you, like, when I played Uncharted, I went through each one of them, right? I didn't I got into the series late, so all of it was available. So it's kind of like what you
Yeah.
say about like, oh, you
Okay.
guys enjoyed it as kids, but I get to enjoy it now. I did one of
Yeah.
those right there. I was like, all right, I'm getting all these Uncharted games. And I'm just going to run through them. And that's exactly what I
Yeah.
did. So when I got to 4 and my bro did what he did to me there, I was like, I done did this many games
Drama.
and of everybody that I've had to deal with in the game, you did this to me?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here trying to help you. Like Matt was in a party chat with me. I was mad as hell. I was mad as hell. I was like, bro, no, you didn't do this. You didn't bring me out to BFE to figure out your problems. Like, this is insane. But Matt Likes Games also said you're goated. He said that you're goated because you said, first of all, before you even got to Deathloop, he was typing Days Gone. She's redeemed after Elden Ring. After the slander.
In this one.
yeah, after the slander. And then she said, and Deathloop, she's goated. I think you might have got a new follower if he has TikTok. But anyways, yeah, and Drake Watson says, Uncharted 4, yes, sir, it's a fantastic game. And Cult Classic Cage says Hogwarts hype, baby.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm so excited. 8 days.
And you will be playing that on your, I'm guessing, the PlayStation?
Yeah.
They got that whole extra little piece of not detail, but of a quest, pretty much, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting for sure. But moving on, I want to know, like, what's your favorite studio, and what game do you think best represents it?
Genuinely, pretty much what I just said. I was probably going to say Naughty Dog for Uncharted. That blew me away. Uncharted was just unreal, but then, see, I was thinking about this. I'm going to stick with that answer, I think.
Uncharted?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So, which one would you put in first place? Uncharted or The Last of Us?
Oh, God. I thought you meant out of the two. What did you say, The Last of Us?
Yeah, between The Last of Us and Uncharted, which one? Like, if Naughty Dog said, yo, I'm going to make one of these two games, you tell me what you want. And it's going to be a brand new story. And I can't tell you if you're going to love it, but I can tell you that we'll work on one of these two. Which one would you choose?
Uncharted. Wasn't a massive fan of The Last of Us.
Really?
It was okay. It was okay. I am not a fan of the series.
Damn, you said that with oomph.
Yeah, I said that with chest.
Yes, you did.
Have you been watching it?
No, I'm waiting for like most of the season to come out because I don't want HBO Max, and if I'm gonna get it, I'm only gonna pay 1 month for it. So I'm waiting for most of the episodes to come out so I can get my 1 month and get out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm very.
If you don't like the game, I'm not. If you don't like the game, I doubt you'd like the story.
It's not that I don't like the game. I just don't think it's quite up there with Uncharted. But that's because I was like completely blown away from that. Like for me, I was similar to you. I played it quite late. It wasn't a case of I played it when it first came out and then I'm waiting for the next one. I played them all together, and I was like, wow. I loved everything about it. So
I'm guessing you played Uncharted 4 for like the new version of it, right?
Yeah, when it became available on Plus is when I first played it.
Oh wow! So did you play the Legacy of what was it? The Legacy of Thieves for PS5 edition?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. So you got to see the whole like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane the jump from 3 to the new version of 4 is wild.
Yeah. I feel like once you've played it, I look back and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't go back and then replay them ones, whereas I would. But I'm very comfortable. I have games that are comfort games to me that I will always go back and play.
Like
that's made Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
Any Fallout game, actually.
Oh my goodness. Matt, calm down. Before you even, he's in the middle of typing right now. I'm sure he is. I can't see the 3 dots because they don't show it on YouTube. I know he's typing right now. Relax.
Yeah, I'm a huge Fallout fan, like massive. That is one of my biggest comfort games. I would hate to know how many hours I've put into Fallout 4 alone, let alone New Vegas or 3. But yeah, that's a comfort game of mine. Red Dead Redemption 2. I know mixed controversy on that one, but I love it, and that's the comfort game of mine. Obviously, Doom.
Where's the controversy? It's just good, in my opinion. It's just, I mean, not just good, but like fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. The jump from the first one to that, literally. Yeah,
I honestly think that's like a generational game. I thought that was like a generational type of game. I mean,
I thought
that and The Last of Us was just like, it blew me away graphics wise.
Yeah, I was in tears at Red Dead Redemption 2, like full on tears. It had me. It was so good. But that's one again I'll go back to all the time.
What are you just doing? Just throwing people off their horses and stuff like that, killing snakes?
I always load up previous loads because I really don't like it when Arthur dies and then you're playing as John. I don't like playing as John, so I'll always go back and then I'll like skip a few saves and then just comfort play.
See, I tried to tell Matt to calm down. He said this is the best guest ever.
Oh,
this is just because you're rattling off like his favorite games. It's insane. It's funny. But let's see. Yeah. So we're coming up close to the end of the show, and I just have a few more questions to ask. One of them is, what are some games that you are excited for other than Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, because I feel like that one's so close. What's some games that are a little bit further out that you're really excited for?
None?
In a year like this, you're not excited for any other games?
No. You're so shocked.
I am. I mean, I've yet to run into somebody that said 2023 is boring. Like, and that is
it's boring. Wow. Obviously, I am stoked for Hogwarts, but the thing for me is that I have such a busy life. I work a full-time job, and it's difficult for me to get invested into games. So, as much as I love gaming, it's a thing that I can only do within my time off. So I work within education, so I get all the half terms off, so the school holidays. So in the summer I've got a juicy 8 weeks, and I just turn into a hermit crab. So whatever comes out near the summer consists of my summer,
So did you just get out of this did you just get out of your shell from the holiday break?
Yeah, I've got a week coming up, and then in the Easter we've got 2 weeks, and then have another 2 weeks in May. So like the time off within jobs in education, it just can't top it. So the time off, I just go to town. I always have a backlog of stuff that I want to play, but other than that, I just normally comfort game, unless I am excited for something like Hogwarts, and then I'll allocate time to become invested in it. Because the thing is, I think I go completely off track with something. When you're so into something that you're like, I need to sleep, but I'm not going to. And then I've had like 3 hours.
That's every night for me.
I'm going to work. Yeah. That's just my life. Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm playing a game that's new to me, I'm like, I'm not sleeping. And then it affects my work. So I have to be kind of careful with that sort of thing, because where I work with education, I'm stood up talking. And if I've had like 2 hours sleep, I just go, and they're like, miss what? Do you know what I mean?
I'm curious, because you said Fallout. Are you a pretty big Bethesda fan at all? Or you just like Fallout?
Kinda. There are a few that I'm like, meh.
Is Starfield a meh for you?
Are we like going down like Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim type route?
I'm just saying in general. So I mean, you can take it how you want. But are you interested at all in the Starfield? That's supposed to be like their biggest game that they've had in many years.
I have seen a lot about it, but I think in my head, where I'm so Fallout focused, I'm questioning why a new Fallout isn't in the works, even though it's been in the talks time and time again. Because that's all I would care about.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's all I care about, actually.
So more or less, that game's on the wait and see list. It's more on the wait and see list compared to if they said, "Hey, Fallout's coming out in 6 months," you would be like just groveling.
Yeah. But I think where it has been so long, I'm actually lying. GTA 6 is in the talks as well, isn't it? I will play literally the shit out of that when that comes out. But yeah, that just popped into my head. But yeah, so in regards to games like that, when there's talks of a new one coming out or potentially in the future, it never gets done. And I feel like for the last 2 years, it's been like, is it going to happen? No, it's not. It might. It's not. But if it did happen, I would completely lose my mind. Because
there was an interview. There was an interview that Todd Howard did not that long ago where he did mention that they are going to be in the production of Fallout. I believe it's either the next game after Starfield or it's the game after. I think the next game after Starfield might be ESO, might be Elder Scrolls Online. And then I think they're going to go to Fallout, but I don't think they have any like date at all set for that. So you might see that in like fucking 2030. I don't know.
Yeah. But I've played a few mods on it, but I would love to see it. I know that like the locations have been discussed all online. I've played some fantastic Fallout mods. I'd love to see it in London. I'd love it if they just took it out of America. I'd just love it so much. That would be amazing.
Okay. Now I want to talk about something that's right up your alley real quick. We got like 3 questions left, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
If you were to revive 2 games that are dead IPs right now, where are we going?
Hogs of War.
What's that?
Like a game that, do you mean like has never had a remaster, just a dead one?
Just a game that's just like you'll probably never see it come back again.
Hogs of War.
Hogs of War?
It? Yeah.
No, I have not.
Have you not? Oh my goodness, what?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's on the PS1. It's so good. Like,
yeah,
so good.
I've never even heard of it.
Have you not? I don't know if it's how exclusive. Have you ever played Worms?
Worms, yes. Like the missile game and whatnot that you're like shooting and killing all the worms.
Yeah. Similar to like that, but it's pigs. And it's voiced by Rick Mayall. It is so good.
Sounds like Angry Birds.
Yeah, I feel like that actually might just be a PAL release. Because I'm surprised that you've never heard of it.
Fark you in the chat said Fallout London does somewhat exist as a mod.
Yeah, I've played it as a mod, but I'd like the whole shebang.
He's like, I want to go home.
It was only released in the PAL region, that's why.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I've never even heard of that game.
Yeah. Oh, it's really, really good.
Farky said he loved Hogs of War, so he knows what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
You got somebody.
It was so, at least somebody knows. It was so good. And maybe Crash Bash. I think Crash Bash online, remastered, play online with people.
She's trying to beat somebody up. She's trying to get some aggression out.
I just want to hit my brother again.
You probably do. Remember when you laughed at me about my content creation?
Oh gosh.
All right. So what frustrates you in gaming as a whole? Like anything about gaming, what frustrates you?
Probably console wars. That annoys me. Do you mean like within gaming, just me, or like the gaming community?
I mean anything gaming related.
Console wars does my head in. And something that I see a lot of personally, doesn't bother me at all. But there's like a small minority of people, and it is a comment that I get a lot. A lot of people are like, "Oh, is that your husband's room? Is that your boyfriend's room?" And I'm like, "It's mine, thanks." Like they just refuse to believe that like a woman could acquire any of this. Do you know what I mean? That's the one thing that does, like, I'm a bit like, oh, whatever. And when people argue, I really don't like that. When people argue, like, because although everyone's brought together in the community and we all have the same similar interests, people are like, oh, as if you don't like that game. That game was amazing. Oh, you're an idiot because that game was so good. Like, I see a lot of controversy on Twitter, and I just think the arguments are a bit unnecessary. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But it's an opinionated industry, and yeah.
It is, and we have a platform to bitch on. So many
that's what I
platforms
mean.
to bitch on.
And a lot of people like attack each other because they're like, oh, well, why aren't you doing this? Like, you could do this. And like, obviously, in an ideal world, it would be great if everybody could get along, but the world wouldn't be the world.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do find it, I'm right there with you. I find it kind of weird that people take others' opinions like personal. Like, I can understand disliking somebody's opinion or even arguing somebody's opinion, but taking it personal and then getting disrespectful with another person because of their opinion is just weird. It's just weird. It sounds like that when people do that, they don't really have their whole shebang together.
Yeah.
It's like either I'm catching like a whiff of jealousy or a whiff of I wish I was you, or like just a whiff of something that I don't need to be smelling right now. is what we be catching sometimes. But on the opposite end of this, what would be a dream come true for you in gaming? And this could be literally, like I said, anything.
A dream come true. Oh my god, to own a full library of every console I own. That the one that's the most realistic for that is the N64 library, because it's like one of the smallest libraries, but there are some real hard hitters in there, like ones that are like £400. But that's probably the most realistic one, or GameCube actually. But again, there are some real ones in there that are just going to break the bank at some point. But I find I get too distracted. I'm like, right, I want a full PS1 collection. Oh, I'm going to start collecting boxed Game Boy games. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can never focus on one thing.
Yep. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
Yeah,
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. I'm literally like 9,000 miles per hour at every given moment. But yeah, an absolute dream would to be that. For the life of me, I can't remember his name, but he's on YouTube. He has got the biggest collection, I think, in the world. I want his get up. That's the dream.
Right? I mean, he has a mall in his house.
Have you seen it? That it's the whole bottom floor. It's a joke.
I mean, I'm just assuming that's what it would be. I've never seen it, but if you have a game collection that's just like untouchable, I'm assuming you have like the size of a mall of video games.
And arcade machines, that's one thing I'd love to. I don't have the room for like much in here. This is actually quite a small room. But to have arcade machines, I'd love that. To own an arcade, that would be kind of cool too.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. So then that's, I guess, pretty much it for us today. I mean, this was a fantastic show. I had a really good time with you. Hopefully you had a really good time as well. And hopefully I didn't keep you up too late.
Oh, it's only 10 to 11. It's fine.
Okay, that's fantastic. Good. But yeah, this was a really good show. And thank you to everybody that showed up. Those of you that came in maybe a little bit later, and then those of you that stuck around for the whole dang time. It was an awesome time. The chat was rolling. You guys had great things to say. You guys kept it very positive as well. So I really appreciate that. But that's nothing new around here. Whatchamacallit, somebody hopped in a little late, called their tro couple or something like that. It says that Ryan room. I don't know what they're referring to.
Oh, that's one of my friends from TikTok. His name is Vince.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's really nice.
Well, that's awesome. I'm happy he was able to find you here and show up just a little bit while we are live so we can announce him. Yeah, no. Hey, I don't care what time you made it here. Yeah, better late than never is 100% a fact. But thank you to everybody. Pyro said great show. Cult Classic Cage said great stream. Arcade said great show as well. And really it was. I had a blast with you today, and I hope to have you, on another show sometime down the line in the future. If I figure something out and get you scheduled and whatnot, it'd definitely be something, the communication like we had getting you on here today, something where we can kind of schedule something in the future for you. But one more time, please let everybody know where they can find you.
TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter. If I ever become techie, maybe Twitch or YouTube, but I've got a long way to go.
She's got a lot of learning to do right there. All right. And then the one last thing I make everybody do before we leave, and I've been trying my best to make sure I get every single episode, which I may have missed like 2 or 3 people, but I'm going to have you go on ahead and do it. I want you to describe gaming in just 3 words.
3 words?
Yes, ma'am.
A happy place.
Oh, fantastic. And she made them run together. It was so good. Let's go. A happy place. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for showing up to the live stream of Behind Them Sticks with Danielle's Games, or better known as Danny. It was a fantastic show with her. Late evening for her. Midday for me. You guys out there, take it easy. And as I always say, keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out, y'all. Welcome to the Behind Them Sticks podcast, brought to you by TSWS Gaming.
Come and talk to me, Lennard Ray. That's your name. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby. Listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you could play. Won't you take a chance with me and have that conversation?